555 Jacksonville. He's Hacker.
I like a good serial killer documentary. He hasn't taken the pounding that wide receivers take.
It's just a pound job, and guys are tired towards that 4 minutes.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
I would be lying to you if I said I had not heard things. They're like a bad rash. You hear a lot of things. Some are true, some aren't.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Thursday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us as we kick off the 2024 NFL regular season. 207 days since Kansas City hoisted the Lombardi Trophy in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here we are 207 days later, and Kansas City will be hosting the Baltimore Ravens to kick off the 2024 campaign. The game out in KC has been delayed a little bit due to lightning in the area. Scheduled kickoff now 8:40 Eastern, so about 35 or so minutes away from NFL football returning here in 2024. We're absolutely loaded. We're with you till 10 o'clock tonight. As always, Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. Guest lineup looks like this. We will have a little locker room talk with a couple of Jaguar defensive players, defensive back Darnell Savage and second-year defensive lineman Tyler Lacey. I had the opportunity to catch up in the Jaguar locker room earlier with Lacey and Savage, and we will play those conversations for you in the next 20 minutes or so. Also, former Jacksonville Jaguar wide receiver, my buddy Cecil Shorts, is with us every week during the regular season here on Hacker After Dark. That kicks off tonight as we will talk Jaguars, we will talk Dolphins, and we will talk AFC South with former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. That comes up in less than 35 minutes. But we're absolutely loaded. No need in wasting any more time. Let's dive right in. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And Dylan Denmark. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No big deal.
It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
Oh, can you feel it? It is here. NFL football is back. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Tomorrow night, you got Green Bay and Philadelphia in that American football hotbed known as Brazil. Full slate of games on Sunday, including your Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. And then, of course, Monday night, rounding it out with San Francisco and the New York Football Jets. So it will be nothing short of sensational opening week in the National Football League. And with that, with the season kicking off in 35 minutes, let's go division by division. Give our AFC title game, our NFC title game, and our Super Bowl. And unlike some, we actually keep track of this. Denmark holds us accountable. We're going to tape this. We're going to re-air it in early February, some 5+ months from now, and we're going to see how we fared in picking division winners, picking conference championship games, and, of course, picking the Super Bowl. Denmark, let's begin in the American Football Conference. Let's go to the Eastern Division, 1 through 4. I'm a believer in Buffalo, even though they lost a lot. Losing Mitch Morse, losing Stephon Diggs, losing Gabe Davis. I still think Josh Allen puts them over the top. Give me Buffalo, followed by Miami. I got the Jets third, the Patriots fourth, although I do think Buffalo, Miami, and New York will all be 8+ wins in 2024. Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. Denmark, what do you have in the East?
Bills win the division. I don't think it's that tough for them to win it. And I don't think the rest of the teams make the playoffs. So we're a little different there.
Wow. Yeah, we are a little different. I didn't say they all make the playoffs. I said they're all going to be 8+ wins. We'll get to that in a moment. AFC North. This is a tough one, man. I mean, realistically, you could see 3 of these teams winning this division. Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Heck, Pittsburgh made the playoffs last year. People tend to forget about that. I do think Pittsburgh's 4th, however. Give me Cincinnati as the AFC North champion, followed by Baltimore. I'll take Cleveland 3rd and Pittsburgh in the rear in 4th.
Baltimore wins the division, I think. I mean, it's 50-50 between them and Cincy. This was the hardest one to pick, but I think Baltimore, they get the division here.
It is tough. We're going to see the Ravens coming up here in about a half an hour, but I do have Cincinnati winning the North. AFC West, not breaking any news here. Give me Kansas City to win the AFC West. I think the Raiders are going to be horrible, so I have them 4th. I had a hard time between Chargers, Broncos. I think Denver's going to be better than people think. I think the Chargers lost a ton. But at the end of the day, give me Justin Herbert over the rookie Bo Nix. Give me Kansas City 1, LA 2, Denver 3, Las Vegas a distant 4.
I got the same as you, and I think the Chargers will make the playoffs as a wild card.
We're going to save the AFC South for the end. Let's go to the NFC. We'll head over to the NFC East. In the NFC East, to me, this is very simple. I have Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, New York. My thoughts on this, the Giants are going to be terrible. I think Washington's going to be better than people think, but they're still going to be 3rd. I don't believe in Dallas enough to put them over Philly. I do think Philadelphia ultimately wins this division.
People forget Philly collapsed worse than Jacksonville, but Philly started the season 10-1, or was it? They were 10-1. Jacksonville was 8-3, but Philly made the playoffs and they ended bad. I think Philly they don't have the season they want. I think Dallas just wins by default.
Wow, interesting. You and I have a lot of different ones. The thing with Dallas for me, a lot of people still unhappy about contracts, including Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. We'll see if that rears its ugly head. CeeDee Lamb's happy now. It took long enough, but we'll see. NFC North, this was almost as tough as the AFC North for me. I think you got 2 really good teams and 1 team that might be good. Minnesota, to me, is 4. I think they're going to be bad with Sam Darnold. Chicago is much improved, but I have them 3rd. Give me Green Bay 2, and by a whisker, I have the Detroit Lions winning the NFC North.
Lions win the division. Green Bay, close 2nd. Probably the best division in football.
NFC West. Again, to me, this is San Francisco and everybody else, but I do think the Los Angeles Rams are going to be an interesting story. Give me San Francisco 1. Give me the Rams 2. Give me Arizona, and maybe a surprise, number 3. Give me Seattle 4. I think it might be a tough year for the Seahawks in the Great Northwest.
I think the Niners take a step back, and I think the Rams get the Niners. I think the Rams win the division.
Wow. You're calling your shot there. I like that. You got the Rams. Very interesting. NFC South. Boy, there's a really bad team here, another team that I think is going to be bad, and 2 teams that are going to be battling the entire year. I got Carolina 4th. I don't think they're any good whatsoever. I don't think New Orleans is going to be particularly good either. Give me New Orleans 3rd. The Falcons I have 2nd by a whisker. Again, by a hair. Give me Tampa Bay to win the division over Atlanta by maybe a game.
I had Atlanta winning the division, but this is my least confident pick. Anytime I ever put confidence in the Falcons, whether it's gambling or in fantasy, they always come back to bite me in the butt. So I like the Falcons, but I don't like the Falcons.
In the AFC South, before we get to our playoff teams, give me Tennessee 4. I think they started spending money just for the sake of spending money. I think they're going to be regretting that Calvin Ridley contract maybe by the end of this season. I think they might be improved, but that's relative. I still have them finishing 4th in the division. Give me Indianapolis 3rd. I think Indianapolis will be good. I still am not a believer in Anthony Richardson. I see Indy in that 7-10, 8-9 type win total. To me, it obviously came down to Jacksonville and Houston. Now, I've been thinking Houston the entire year, and no one's ever going to confuse me for being a Jaguar homer. No one's ever going to confuse me for being sunshine and rainbows guy. In fact, some of you say I get way too negative on social media during the games. Maybe I'll work on that, Denmark, beginning Sunday at 1 o'clock. Try not to be so negative in the midst of battle between the Jaguars and the Dolphins when it comes to my social media. But I've said all offseason, Trent Baalke was masterclass. I've said all offseason, this team is better now than they were last year. And I picked them to win the division last year. So if I think they're better than the team I picked to win the division a year ago, I got to go Jacksonville, right? Give me the Jaguars to win the division, Houston second, Indianapolis third, and the Tennessee Titans fourth.
The Indianapolis Colts were 20 yards away from winning the division. I think Anthony Richardson stays relatively healthy, and I think they get the division.
Wow. Man, you are going out on some limbs. I like that. So you have the Rams in the NFC West. You got the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC South. Does that mean you have Jacksonville finishing second or third?
I think they finished second.
Okay, so you're not a believer in Houston. Interesting.
No, they take a step back.
All right, NFC playoffs. My 4 division winners. No particular order in seeding, just my 4 division winners. Philadelphia, Detroit, San Francisco, and Tampa. My 3 NFC wild cards, Green Bay, Atlanta, and Dallas.
NFC, I like the Falcons, Lions, Cowboys, Rams, my division winners. Wild card, the Niners, Packers, and I like the Commanders to surprise everybody.
Okay, I think the Commanders are going to be better. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get in, but I think they're going to be in that 8-9 win total. I agree with that. AFC playoffs. My 4 division winners give me Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Jacksonville. My wild cards, Baltimore, Miami, and Houston.
Chiefs, Bills, Colts, Ravens win the division. Wild card is Jaguars, Chargers, and Texans.
All right, we got 5. So we have 5 out of the 7 same playoff teams in the AFC. Give me your NFC playoff teams again.
The NFC was the Falcons, Lions, Cowboys, Rams. And the wild card was the Niners, Packers, and Commanders.
Wow, okay. So we have 10 out of 14 playoff teams together. We have 5 of the same in the AFC, 5 of the same in the NFC. Quickly, my NFC championship game. I got San Francisco against Detroit, a rematch of last year, except this year I have the Detroit Lions winning the NFC. My AFC championship game, Kansas City and Buffalo. I have Kansas City, which would mean my Super Bowl, Denmark, is Detroit and Kansas City. What do you have?
Detroit over Green Bay in the NFC, and I have Kansas City over Baltimore in the AFC.
We have the same Super Bowl?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
I don't like that.
Who's your Super Bowl champion?
Detroit.
Oh, my gosh.
It's their year.
I got the same thing.
And I don't like that because I've heard everybody on this station talking about it's Detroit's year, and I thought I was going on a limb. But
wow.
Everybody else is saying it, so I'm not as confident.
So you and I have 10 of the 14 playoff teams the same. We have the same exact AFC champion, the same exact NFC champion, and, of course, we have the same Super Bowl champion. Give me the Detroit Lions hoisting the Lombardi Trophy on Bourbon Street in February. I guess give Denmark the same exact thing. We are 25 minutes away from the NFL regular season kicking off, Kansas City and Baltimore. We will keep you updated. Coming up in less than 20 minutes, former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. You'll get him every week during the NFL regular season right here on Hacker After Dark. We'll talk Jags. We'll talk Dolphins. We'll preview the game. We'll also take a look around the division. Cecil was also a former Houston Texan, and Cecil was a former teammate of DeAndre Hopkins, who is now, of course, with the Titans. So we can do a lot of AFC South talk with Cecil Shorts. We'll do that in 20 minutes' time. Coming up next, a little Jaguar locker room talk. I had the opportunity earlier on to catch up with defensive back Darnell Savage and second-year defensive lineman Tyler Lacey. You'll hear those conversations next on a Thursday evening at NFL kickoff evening here in the city of Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us. It's Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Oh, yeah, the injured hamstring.
All it takes to spoil the dream is the tweak of a hamstring.
Boy, this is bad news.
Listen for the Farah and Farah Injury Update.
On 1010XL, Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg. But Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There are a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesofJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 5th, 1994, San Francisco wide receiver Jerry Rice catches 2 touchdown passes and runs for another, and the 49ers win over the Raiders, becoming the NFL's career touchdown leader.
Nick in here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey, John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Cancer Center offers on-site imaging, including total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Hey, Carline here. If you're like me in the fall, you want to watch football, not clean. Enter Molly Maid, voted Bold City Best Cleaning Service 3 years in a row. Molly Maid is reliable, friendly, and thorough. Visit mollymaid.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Jaguars preparing for the Miami Dolphins Sunday, 1 o'clock in Miami, Florida. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL Radio. Had the opportunity earlier on to have a little Jaguar locker room talk with a couple of Jacksonville Jaguar defensive players. Are going to be playing for Ryan Nielsen, his first game as the Jaguar D coordinator. A second-year defensive lineman in Tyler Lacey. We'll hear that conversation in a moment. But first, one of the guys I'm very interested in watching on Sunday, first year here in Jacksonville, I think he's going to have a really nice impact. I talked at the Miller Electric Center earlier on with Jacksonville Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage. All right, Jaguar locker room, Miller Electric Center, getting ready for the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. We got Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage here with us on 1010XL. Darnell, how are things going, man?
Good. Ready to go. Week 1, let's do it.
Still the excitement for you, being a veteran in this league, the excitement of opening day?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's exciting all around the world. I feel like everybody can't wait for football to start back up. So we feel the same.
On the road, week 1, environment like Miami, playing against Jalen Waddle, playing against Tyreek Hill. What are the challenges those guys will present for you?
I mean, definitely a lot of speed. You see it on the tape. A lot of run after the catch. So we just got to make sure we rally to the ball, tackle, get them on the ground, and just play team defense.
Being a defensive back playing in a game like this, obviously every team has very good weapons, but Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you got to be really excited about that challenge. Week number 1, right out of the gate, let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, especially because when you got good players like that, the ball's coming. They're going to get their touches, so you're going to have your opportunities to make plays. So I feel like that's what we're most excited about.
You were on some really good teams in Green Bay. Obviously, it's hard to compare. You're so new here and haven't played a regular season game yet, but do you see any similarities, some of those teams in Green Bay to where you are here in Jacksonville?
From the aspect, everybody's just so focused, man. And it's something that it's more so a field than anything else, And you feel the energy, It's just everybody's just excited and just ready to go against somebody other than each other, So it's definitely good.
As we begin to wrap up, it's going to be hot in South Florida. But you guys have been practicing in the heat the entire time. That's not going to be a really big deal for you guys.
Nah, not at all. This Florida heat different, man. So it'll be like a camp practice out there for both of us.
A lot of Jaguar fans making a trip to Miami. That's the word on the street. Getting a lot of support down there. Any message to the Jaguar fans making the trip down?
Pull up and scream Duval. Every chance you get, pull up. Let's turn it into a home game.
Darnell, appreciate it. Best of luck on Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Darnell Savage is one of the guys, Ronald Darby and Eric Armstead as well, kind of the 3 veteran guys they brought in on that defense. We haven't seen Armstead out there yet. You'll see that on Sunday. We only saw, a quarter and a half of Darnell Savage. I guess the guy we've seen the most is Darby, and we really haven't seen him very much in games. So you're going to really get your first taste of those free agents and, quite frankly, the rookies, right? Jarian Jones, Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson, possibly DeAndre Prince. A lot of newness on that Jaguar defensive core, and we'll see that Sunday in Miami. A guy that's coming into his second year on that Jaguar defense, a guy that I thought had a very good training camp, a very good preseason, kind of falls in line with the rest of those 2023 draft picks, right? Anton Harrison, Tank Bigsby, Ventrell Miller, Antonio Johnson, Parker Washington. That draft class has the potential to be very, very good. 4th-round pick Tyler Lacey who did play a fair amount last year, I thought Lacey was very good in August here in Jacksonville. Can that translate to September? I had a little Jaguar locker room talk with Jaguar defensive lineman Tyler Lacey. All right, the Hacker Ryan Green, 1010XL in the Jaguar locker room. Jaguars getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. We got Jaguar defensive lineman Tyler Lacey here with us on 1010XL. Tyler, how we doing?
I'm doing good. It's game week. Finally, it's back. I'm excited, real excited. You can see the tempo in the locker room is coming up. Everybody's just excited. The energy is high.
You know, you and I didn't get a chance to talk during camp. I talked to a lot of your draft colleagues from Ventrell to Cooper, Anton, Antonio. That 2023 draft class, man, there's a lot of expectations. A lot of you guys looked really good in camp. Do you sense that you guys from year one to year two really made a big jump?
Yes, sir. I feel like our draft class made a big jump. I mean, I feel like the growth in our draft classes went up. I mean, the maturism has went up, you know, getting that belt underneath us, that one-year belt. I mean, I just feel like the motivation and the mindset coming into year two is different.
Defense looked like they played with a swagger in the preseason, man. What has Ryan Nielsen and that new defensive staff brought here?
It just brought attack. Attack, that's his mindset. That's what he preaches every single day, day in and day out. And that's just the mindset we got going into every snap, every game, every situation we have. We're just attacking it.
What about you personally? You were in the backfield an awful lot this preseason. Do you feel like your game has made a jump from year one to year two, you personally?
Yeah, personally, I feel like my game made a jump. I'm still working at it, but I feel like I'm elevating every single day.
Miami week one, Battle of Florida. A lot of Jaguar fans are making the trip down to Miami. There's going to be some Duval in the stands. That kind of adds to it, right? The little battle for the state.
Yeah, battle for Florida. I mean, it's going to be a good one. I hope our fans show up. Well, I hope. No, our fans will show up and just come out there loud and just give us that energy, and we'll feed back to it.
Miami's talking about, well, it's 1 o'clock in South Florida. The heat's their advantage. It's been plenty hot here in Jacksonville. I don't know how much of an advantage the heat's going to be for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much advantage, but just know we prepare for it.
As we wrap up, I mean, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, what challenges do those guys present here opening week?
Speed. I mean, so I feel like our back end just has to keep up with them, and then we have to keep up with them on the front end, especially on the D-line. We got to put pressure on Tua just so our DBs don't have that much time to cover.
As we begin to wrap up, a guy like Eric Armstead, what has he brought to this locker room, particularly to a young guy like yourself?
It brought a lot, like, he just brought that pro status with him. I mean, you know, everybody's gravitating to him, especially like how long he's been in the league and what he's accomplished. So everybody's just gravitating to him, taking pieces of what he's saying to elevate our game.
Oklahoma State and Arkansas, right? This week, you and Cam Little got a little something on the side?
Yeah, he's going to be dripped out in all orange come Monday morning.
Hey, Tyler, best of luck on Sunday. We'll be watching.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, there you go. Tyler Lacey here with us on Hacker After Dark. He was staring right at Cam Little when he made that comment. You love when their colleges go up against each other. It's some levity in that Jaguar locker room. Big game on Sunday. Again, the Jaguars and the Dolphins. The Dolphins should win this game. I mean, they should. They're at home. It's opening day. They're the favorite. Can the Jaguars go steal one? We'll see. I'll give my official prediction later on. We're not on tomorrow night. We're under the Friday Night Lights tomorrow night, so I'll let you know what I think. Jacksonville and Miami coming up in just a bit. Before we get there, every week from now until February, you're going to get my pal Cecil Shorts here on Hacker After Dark, a former wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, spent 7 years in the National Football League. Let's talk Jags Dolphins. Let's talk AFC South. And let's do it with a former Jaguar receiver, Cecil Shorts, next Thursday night. Hacker After Dark, right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the play that influenced the outcome.
Handoff inside. He sees it. Now he goes and gets it. Nice play coming downhill.
Listen for the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game on 1010XL. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm on 1010XL.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
At Hidden Hills Golf Club, we truly love the game of golf. We invite you to book your next tee time here and enjoy a golfing experience that you might not find at other public facilities. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Mad Men Marketing, Jacksonville's original digital ad agency, is now able to get your ads placed on Amazon Prime Video. Their digital experts are some of the few digital marketers approved to insert on Amazon Prime Video. Call their digital consultants at 355-1766 to learn how you can use Amazon Prime Video to grow your business and increase sales. Mad Men Marketing. Interact. Don't interrupt.
Imagine stepping out of your cozy cabin on a crisp fall morning, coffee in hand, a stunning view from your private porch greets you. You spend the day relaxing at the tiki bar or taking a dip in the year-round pool while catching the big game on TV. Welcome to Island Oaks RV Resort, just past McClenny off exit 333. Book your cabin that sleeps 4 to 6 people. A close, affordable getaway with activities for the whole family. Make memories that last at Island Oaks RV Resort. IslandOaksRVResort.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Dolphins, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Miami, Florida. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL as the Jaguars 2024 regular season kicks off. And with the regular season kicking off, we're glad to be joined once again by former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. He'll be with us every week here on Hacker After Dark, and we look forward to talking to Cecil the entire NFL season. Cecil, happy football season to you, man. How are you?
Happy football season, Ryan. We talked about it off air. It's the best time of year, brother. It's the best time of year. It's football season. You got college football. You got pro football. I mean, they set it up perfect. It's Thursday night. It's Friday night. Then you got college football all day Saturday. And then it's Sunday and Monday. You can't beat this, brother.
No, it's great, man. There's absolutely no question about it. And we want to talk Jaguars, Dolphins. We want to look around the division. But let's catch up on the Jaguars from the offseason. We had you on a couple of times over the last 6 months or so, but certainly a lot transpired from all the contract extensions here in Jacksonville, including Trevor Lawrence, the drafting of Brian Thomas Jr., the acquisition of Gabe Davis, Eric Armstead, Darnell Savage, just to name a few. Cecil, how would you summarize the offseason that was here in Jacksonville?
Quality offseason. What you did is you got your team better. You took care of the guys that were in-house, and then you added pieces from around that were solid pieces in other places, right? So you bring in Eric Armstead. You bring in other guys like that can be a solid pieces in places of area that you need, and you're setting yourself up to make a run to win this division, right? I think this division is going to be extremely tough. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than what people think. But what Jacksonville did this offseason, taking care of your quarterback, taking care of your cornerback, signing Savage, signing Armstead, getting another center. What you're doing is you're adding quality pieces to an already good roster who started, 8-3 last year, right? Just had a little small collapse at the end. I wouldn't say small, but a big collapse at the end. But what you're doing is you're getting that momentum back, and you should have a fast start this year.
Well, it starts on Sunday against Miami. And right out of the gate, it's crazy. The Jaguars start with 4 playoff teams from last year, 3 of which are on the road, at Miami, at Buffalo, at Houston. I mean, this first month is brutal, Cecil. To me, it might be about survival, man. I would take 2-2 and head to the hills with his first 4 games.
Yeah, I would agree that it's brutal, but I think when you made the moves you made in the offseason, when you extend your quarterback, and then when you have the playoff success the year before coming back, and then it's a great start at 8-3, you expect to be in the hunt. This is what you want to do. Like, you want to see early on, what can we do against the best teams in the NFL? And 4 of those games, like you mentioned, are against some of the best teams in the NFL this year. So I'm excited to see them go out there and compete. And if they go 2-2, great. That should be some momentum there, but if they can go 3-1 or something like that, that would be a huge momentum for them in Jacksonville.
Cecil Shorts played 7 years in the National Football League, 4 of which right here in Jacksonville, and he's with us right now on Hacker After Dark. All right, Cecil, Brian Thomas Jr., Gabe Davis. You and I last spoke at the beginning of training camp. You've now got to see a small sample size of both new wide receivers, even Devin Duvernay as well. What is your thought on the new Jaguar wide receiver room?
Speed. These guys, I see what they were looking for in the offseason. They were looking for down-the-field threats, and they were looking for speed. Gabe Davis and Brian Thompson, BTJ, not only have speed, but they're nice and long. They're tall. They can go up and get the ball, make the big play down the field. One of the things I loved in the preseason was seeing Brian Thomas Jr. just come across the field in these over routes. When you give a guy with that size, with that speed, a chance to just run and get around the defense and run away from his cornerback that's chasing them, man, he can catch the ball in space and then take off. It was exciting to see, but speed is what they were looking for, and they got it in those 3 particular guys that you just named.
Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis are the 2 guys people are excited to see because they're the new wide receivers. But Old Reliable is finally healthy again, and that's Christian Kirk. In fact, he did not even show up on the injury report this week. He's good to go for Sunday. Speak to just how important, Cecil, how important Christian is to this offense.
Oh, man, to me, he's the number 1 receiver by far. He's on the same page with Trevor Lawrence. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He runs excellent routes. He finds the right holes in the defense. He's very savvy when it comes to his route running. He knows where to be when they're in robber coverage, when they're in sky, when they're in these different coverages. He knows where to be so Trevor can find him. He is a number 1 guy on this offense. And I'm excited to see him back healthy, because when he's healthy, he's another guy that can run. He can run, and he gets a lot of yak after he catches the ball. So he's definitely one of Trevor's favorite targets. I'm glad he's back and healthy.
Evan Ingram was voted a captain by his teammates. Evan Ingram was a guy, Cecil, that every day I was at training camp, literally every day, he was the first guy on the field, 20, sometimes 30 minutes before his teammates, going through his routine. Here's a guy that just turned 30, a guy that got a brand new contract last year. But man alive, the work ethic that guy has, and you see the results paid off last year with 114 grabs. What's your expectation for Evan Ingram this year?
The same, to be reliable, man. 114 grabs, that's not by accident. I mean, you just said it right there. He's there 20, 30 minutes so early. I'm sure he's staying after practice, getting work in. He's learned over the years, from his early years with the Giants, how to be a professional, how to be a pro. What do I need to do? The talent's always been there at Ole Miss, right? We always seen the talent. We always seen him to be extremely athletic. Now he's learning how to be in the right spots, how to get open, how to run routes against linebackers and safeties, and he's just reliable. So when Trevor's back deep, or when Trevor's dropping back and he doesn't see his first read, doesn't see his second read, he knows where is Evan Ingram at. Where is Evan? Maybe Evan is the second read. He can trust him make the play. He can trust him in the red zone. And that's what I like to see in preseason. Oh, my gosh, he had a couple of red zone targets, maybe a little more than last year, getting in the end zone. That was exciting to see versus Atlanta. But he is somebody that's going to be reliable. He has great hands, and he's going to be in the right spots, which is important. I keep talking about that, but it's so important for a quarterback to be able to trust whoever's running those routes to be in the correct spots versus the correct defenses, right? So it's going to be fun to see him continue to ascend as he gets older.
A couple of more for former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. He's with us every week here on Hacker After Dark. Cecil, I want to talk about the defense in a moment. Final offensive thought. You and I talked about this last year when it was Ridley and Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and Ingram. It could have been any guy, any week, right? And that didn't materialize because Zay got hurt and then Christian got hurt in early December, and it just never happened. Now, hopefully, the lightning doesn't strike twice. Hopefully, this core is healthy. But when you throw out there Evan Ingram and Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk and even lump in a Duvernay, a Parker Washington, Travis Etienne, they may not have that wide receiver one, quote-unquote one, Cecil, like a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase. But good heavens, man, they got 5 or 6 guys that you feel pretty good about, do you not?
You feel really good. You have a good stable of guys, right? Guys you can trust, guys that can make plays and the ball's in their hands. And to me, honestly, I like it that way. I prefer, you want to have that Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type of guy. But when you have a stable of guys, multiple guys that can get open, multiple guys that can run routes, and they know their specific role in the offense, that's a big deal. So now you can't just focus as a defense on one particular guy. You got to worry about the whole crew of guys. So that puts more pressure to me on the defense is just having one strong guy. You got 4 or 5 strong guys that can make some plays.
The defense has to be better than last year. Mike Caldwell out, Ryan Nielsen in. We haven't seen Eric Armstead yet. We'll see him on Sunday make his debut. But whether it's Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, and then the new guys, Darnell Savage, Ronald Darby, you mentioned Tyson Campbell, got that brand new extension. A lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully that talent shines through this season.
Yeah, you hope so. And they're going to be tested early on, man. This Miami offense, as you know, is extremely explosive, extremely fast. 2 of the fastest receivers in the league, and Jalen Waddle, who just got paid, I want to say, this all season. And then you got Tyreek Hill. We all know about Tyreek Hill, right? So Tyson Campbell, Savage, Darby, they'll be tested early. But also that defensive line needs to get pressure on Tua. It's going to be huge. It's going to be true. It's going to be true. It's going to be huge for that big defensive line. You got Walker, you got Allen, you got Armstead, you got others to get pressure on the quarterback. If you can get pressure on these quarterbacks this season, you put the linebackers and your secondary in better position to make plays. Makes it easier on them. So that front line is going to be huge. If they can have good success, you see success all around the defense.
7 years for you as a wide receiver in the NFL. You obviously know a little bit about this topic. You mentioned Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Put yourself in Ryan Nielsen, the D coordinator's mind. How do you go about stopping those guys? Is it as simple as being physical with them at the line of scrimmage?
Ooh, first of all, I need to pray because Miami, for whatever reason, starts off hot every year. Every year, with McDaniels, they start off hot. Start off rolling, right? They get things rolling early. You got to get pressure on the quarterback, like I mentioned, and you got to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Look what the Chiefs did to Miami. I know Miami went to the Chiefs in the playoffs, and it was freezing cold, and they were from Miami, and I get all that. But they were physical at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was times where L'Jarius Sneed was pushing Tyreek Hill to the ground, right? So to me, you got to be physical. You got to be physical all game long when it comes to stopping these guys. And of course, you got to respect them. You got to have probably a safety over top of them, staying deep. You got to respect the speed that they have, but get pressure on the quarterback. Make them run the football. Show me that Devon Achane is a down-to-down back. Last year, we saw him do some really good things with not that many carries, extremely explosive, extremely fast, but make them prove that he's a down-to-down back. Get pressure on the quarterback, stop that run, and then make sure you're physical with the receivers.
I want to look around the division as we begin to wrap up. Again, Cecil Shorts here with us. Final thought on this game in particular. You mentioned the running game for Miami. I think the running game for Jacksonville is vital as well. You want to limit possessions. You want that clock to run when your offense is out on the field, to not give Tua that football, which again comes down to the offensive line, which there are some questions about Cecil coming into the year, and Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. To me, the Jaguar running game is going to be very important on Sunday.
Man, it's going to be important all year long. And I think personally, Travis Etienne, who had a really good year last year, he had tons of carries. I want to see what the other backs can do as well. I want to see Tank get more involved. Is he more comfortable in the offense this year? Can he take some carries away from Travis so Travis can be more fresh down the second half of the season, right? We know what Travis can do. We've seen what he can do in the passing game. We see what he can do in the running game. He is elite. But when it comes to the running game and taking possessions away, if you can take some carries away from Travis, if Tank can come in and get some 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 carries just to keep Travis fresh for the second half of the season and the second half of games, then you got a 1-2 punch there that can be dangerous.
It has the potential to be, no question about it. All right, let's look at Sunday in the division. Tennessee goes to Chicago, the debut of Caleb Williams with the Bears, and the Bears just overhauled that roster. Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, go on down the line. Tennessee, you want to talk about overhauling a roster? Good grief. I know DeAndre Hopkins, a former teammate of yours, not expected to play, but Calvin Ridley will be out there. Obviously, Tony Pollard, all the free agent acquisitions the Titans have brought in. Who do you like between Tennessee and Chicago up there at Soldier Field?
You know what? So I don't understand Tennessee's mindset almost. I'm a little confused. I guess they're in win now mode, right? They got some good names as far as veterans to come over there. But I kind of see them in the bottom of the pack when it comes to the AFC South. Still be a tough team. Tony Pollard, Spears. They still got a decent offensive line. So a lot of it's the success from Tennessee is going to depend on Will Levis. Can he really get the ball downfield and make good reads and stuff like that? I think Caleb Williams is special. I truly do. And when you have a rookie quarterback, you want him in a situation that he's in now, surrounded by veteran receivers, surrounded by a veteran running back. You drafted some linemen. You're trying to surround him with good offensive linemen, a decent defense. I say Chicago starts off with the win next week. I truly do.
Yeah, I like Chicago on Sunday as well. A big one in Indianapolis, week 1. Houston, you're also a former Houston Texan. They go to the Colts. Anthony Richardson, year 2. Can he stay healthy? The Colts are kind of the forgotten team in the division. People tend to forget they were a 4th down drop away from maybe winning the division and hosting a playoff game. Houston, all the hype coming in. That's a good one in Indy on Sunday between the Colts and the Texans.
That's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a fun one. There's also been some off-season quote unquote beef going on between linebackers of Zaire Franklin and CJ Stroud, talking on different podcasts and stuff, going back and forth. But I think honestly, people are gonna be surprised how good the Texans defense could be this year. And then offensively, if they're able to live up to the expectations, they should win. They should win pretty handily on Sunday, in my opinion. They should win by probably 10 points. That's how good I think the Texans can be early on this season.
Yeah, the Texans maybe won the offseason. We'll see if that translates on the field on Sunday. And then finally, back home to Jacksonville and Miami. Not to put you on the spot, but I'm leaning Miami. I'll be honest with you. I haven't made my official prediction yet. Miami's the favorite. Miami's at home. It's opening day. This is a game Miami is expected to win. The question is, Cecil, can Jacksonville go down to South Florida and maybe steal one?
I think Jacksonville can hang. I don't think they steal one. I think Miami, just being honest, starts fast. They're going to come out there blazing. They're going to come out there fresh. That's just what they've been doing the last 2-3 years. They start off really hot and then die as the season goes on. So I think the Jacksonville will play well. We'll see some highlights. We'll see some good things we'd like to see and can build on. But I think Miami wins the game.
Yeah, that's the way I'm leaning as well. You hear Cecil Shorts every week here on Hacker After Dark. Cecil, looking forward to the year, man. Quickly, tell Jaguar fans where they can interact with you as football season gets underway.
Oh, yes, sir. So I host a podcast called Believe in Texans. So you can check that podcast out on all podcast platforms. Also, C Shorts III on Instagram and Cecil Shorts III on Twitter. So there we go.
He's one of our guys, Cecil Shorts. Cecil, I'm looking forward to week 1. We'll be back to recap it and preview a very interesting game next week when Cleveland comes in for the Jaguars home opener. Thank you as always, pal.
Appreciate you, RG. Have a good one.
Make Friday feel like the weekend.
We're wasting time.
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
Let's do it. Come on.
We'll get you ready for the games. Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and MyBookie on 1010XL.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, I get a lot of questions. Hacker, how'd you lose so much weight? I hear you talking about Awaken 180. Does it really work? Well, of course it really works. I've lost 94 pounds since February 20th. It didn't just happen out of thin air. Obviously, with how much weight I needed to lose, things were not going my way. My weight had gotten away from me. It was time for a change. And Awaken 180 provided that for me. It's the best weight loss program I've ever been on. It's life-changing. It's life-altering. And quite frankly, it's probably life-saving. And I don't say that lightly. Awaken 180 weight loss. If you need to drop 10, 20, 30 pounds, or if you have a ton of weight to lose like I did, they can help you. They helped me. They've helped a lot of people. You could be next. Make the call. Visit the website, awaken180weightloss.com.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there for the Jaguars 2024 home opener when they go head-to-head with the Cleveland Browns. Join us as we celebrate Hispanic heritage and take the field at Everbank Stadium for the first time during our 30th season. Lock in your seats now for the 1 p.m. kick by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you back at the bank.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
It's the best time of the year again. It's football season, and with football season here, fantasy football has arrived. And forget the season-long leagues. Underdog Fantasy and the Underdog Fantasy app is the way to go. I've been playing it now for almost a year, and it is just suits me to a T. First of all, it's simple, right? Just choose higher or lower on statistical projections or compete against others in player v. player fantasy games. Either way, there's so many options. There's research there on the site. It's easy to use, and right now, you can get a little bit extra. That's right. Go to the mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code PROSSER. They're going to give you a special to use on your first contest and a deposit offer. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code PROSSER, and claim your new customer offer. Do it right now, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Got to be 18 or over, got to be present in the state where it's played, and call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org if you have a problem.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
1010XL is presented by Barra & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
NFL season is underway. The Baltimore Ravens, an 11-play, 70-yard drive capped off by Derrick Henry. His first game as a Baltimore Raven, he finds the end zone. 5 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown for Derrick Henry on the opening drive. Mahomes and the Chiefs haven't even gotten the ball yet. 8:14 to go in the first quarter. Baltimore 7, Kansas City nothing in the NFL regular season opener. John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, joins us coming up in less than 15 minutes. Also, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark as we talk about what can you do in Gainesville and Tallahassee. What is salvageable in both Gainesville and Tallahassee with the Gators and the Seminoles? That comes up at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. Week number 2 for Hack and Little Hack. Make the picks. Little Hack beat me last week. It's pretty humbling when your 5-year-old beats you in a pick segment. He went 2-1. I went 1-2. He nailed Georgia and Miami. I only got Georgia right. I missed Miami. We both missed Florida State. Because the college slate locally is lacking this week, we'll do 3 NFL games, including Jacksonville and Miami. Here's week 2 of Hack and Little Hack. Make the picks right here on Hacker After Dark. All right, week number 2, Hack and Little Hack make the picks here on Hacker After Dark. I was 1-2 last week. Absolutely horrible. Both Florida and Florida State completely let me down. My 5-year-old outpicked me. Little Hack 2-1. He nailed Miami. He nailed Georgia. We both missed Florida State. Little Hack, how do you feel about a 2-1 start to this year?
Good. Daddy was wrong about all of them, but I was right.
Well, yeah, you beat me, no question about it. Florida and Florida State. Florida State's off. The Gators don't really have a big game this week, so we're going to do 3 in the National Football League. We'll save the Jaguars and the Dolphins towards the end. Little hack, Tennessee goes to Chicago. Caleb Williams' debut for the Bears. It's the Titans, where Calvin Ridley is now. I know he's your favorite. Tennessee, Chicago. Who do you like, the Titans or the Bears on Sunday?
Titans.
You like the Titans? Why? Because Calvin Ridley's there now?
Yes.
Why are you such a Calvin Ridley fan?
Just him.
You just are. Well, that's good enough. He picks Tennessee because Calvin Ridley is in Nashville. AFC South battle, little hack. The Texans go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. The Texans and the Colts, little hack. Who do you have, Houston or Indianapolis on Sunday?
Can I say something now?
Absolutely.
I think Calvin Ridley's going to win and beat the other team's butts.
Wow, okay. Well, he's doubling down on Calvin Ridley. All right, back to Houston and Indianapolis. Who do you like, the Texans or the Colts?
The Colts.
The Colts. So why? Because they have the home field advantage and Anthony Richardson's their quarterback?
Yep.
Pretty much. All right, there it goes. So he's going Tennessee. He's going Indianapolis. What do you have to add, little hack?
Your microphone stinks.
It does not. It's very, very sanitized. All right. Final topic of the night. Final game. Little hack. This is what everybody's waiting for. By the way, your video debuts on social media on Sunday. Your Jaguars game day video. Do you want to give the people out there a little sample of what you're going to say in that video on Sunday?
Yep. Hey, Jaguar fans. It's Little Hack. Get fired up. It's Jaguars game day. Let's go, baby. Do ball.
Oh, my goodness. He's fired up. Now, Jacksonville and Miami, the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Little hack, who wins between Jacksonville and Miami on Sunday?
Miami.
Miami? You're going the Dolphins? Why are the Dolphins going to beat the Jaguars?
Jaguars are way better.
The Dolphins are going to win even though the Jaguars are way better?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Bye, Denmark.
Denmark, you got a fan here. Little Hack has spoken. He's going Tennessee, he's going Indy, and he's going Miami. We'll do it next week, week 3. Hacker and Little Hacker make the picks right here on Hacker After Dark. Cannot believe he's going Miami, but he is. And unfortunately, I guess that's going to run in our family. I think Jacksonville wins the AFC South. I don't think they win on Sunday. I like the Miami Dolphins to win. They're at home. Opening day. It's tough. Hope I'm wrong. I'd be glad to be wrong, but I'll take Miami to beat Jacksonville on Sunday, even though earlier on I did pick the Jaguars to win the division. By the way, Kansas City went down through like a hot knife through butter through the Baltimore defense. The rookie Xavier Worthy on a reverse finds the end zone. We are all knotted up 7 apiece. Chiefs, Ravens, midway through the first quarter. John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, talking Jags, Dolphins, and more. That's next. As the NFL is back, the Jaguars return on Sunday. You'll hear it here on 1010XL. Let's talk Jags with John Shipley next on Hacker After Dark.
Get game day going with news and notes, injury updates, and everything you need to know to enjoy the game on the Terminix Kickoff Show.
Go, go, go!
5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade on 1010XL.
Florida homeowners are going to extreme lengths to stay cool this summer.
We sit in front of the refrigerator with the door open and only eat frozen foods while they're still frozen and put ice cubes down our pants. Whoa, that's cold.
But the most popular and cost-effective way can be summed up by a quack. Just call Duck Duck Air Conditioning. For AC repairs to new installations, you too can beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning, Jacksonville area's AC experts. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, back on February the 20th, I weighed 317 pounds. Yeah, 317 pounds. I woke up this morning at 225 pounds. 92 pounds down in just over 6 months. And it's all thanks to Awaken 180, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. It's life-changing. And I'm not understating that. It's life-changing. And quite frankly, it probably saved my life. Again, if it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, whether it's 10, 20, 30 pounds, or whether it's a ton of weight like I had to lose, take it from a guy who's lost 90 pounds on this program. Awaken 180 works. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That company, that program, they're changing lives. I'm one of them. You could be the next. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's poker with a purpose. The Hold'em for Life Texas Hold'em Tournament at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall benefits the Women's Help Center with a focus on expectant mothers and newborns. If you'd like to play or sponsor, call 904-868-8873.
Help make Jacksonville safer and play a round of golf at the First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament, October 21st at Amelia River Club.
If you could benefit from a grief and loss support group, call Haven Hospice at 279-1677.
Having a mentor can positively change a young life right here in Jacksonville. It only takes 4 to 7 hours a month to be a big brother or big sister and change a life forever. Become a big today at bbbsnefl.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com. This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 5th, 1994, San Francisco wide receiver Jerry Rice catches 2 touchdown passes and runs for another in the 49ers win over the Raiders, becoming the NFL's career touchdown leader.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime Man Cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows, enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, takes the field this season at 1-1 Financial Ballpark as the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. Tickets start at just $5, fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids run the bases after every Sunday game. JackShrimp.com, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family fun.
Hello there, Brendan from Play It Again Sports here to congratulate all the parents for surviving another summer. The kiddos are back to school, and you know what that means? Sports are back. But don't fret, Play It Again Sports has the gear you need at prices worthy of excessive celebration. From sluggers and shooters to clappers and benders, Play It Again Sports can turn your kids into goats. Stop in today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainjax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Dolphins, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL as the Jacksonville Jaguars kick off their 2024 regular season. Let's preview the game. Let's also take a big picture look at the season to come with my buddy John Shipley. He does a terrific job covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for the Jaguars on SI, and John's always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. John, how we doing?
I'm doing good, my friend. How you doing?
John, we're good. Busy time of year, so thank you for taking a couple of minutes. And it's finally here, man. The blood, the sweat, and the tears from everybody, from the draft to free agency to the offseason to training camp, and now here we are. Week 1 on Sunday, and there certainly seems to be a lot of excitement with this fan base, John, about this Jaguar football team.
Oh, no, 100%. There definitely seems to be a lot of positive momentum building for the Jaguars. I mean, Jaguars owner Shad Khan, said it himself in, that video from the Jaguars in, the Hunt series that he believes this is the best Jaguars team ever assembled. And while, that could absolutely be debated, I mean, you look up and down, it's probably the best Jaguars coaching staff and best Jaguars roster they have had, in the ownership tenure of Shad Khan. So there's definitely a lot of, positivity, excitement, and I think it's probably warranted.
Yeah, look, there certainly is. And what's crazy about it, too, I mean, they lose Calvin Ridley in the offseason. You release guys like Zay Jones, Jamal Agnew, Darius Williams, Rayshon Jenkins, Foley Fatukasi. I mean, there was a lot of attrition. Yet I'm as objective as I can be on this, John. I look at this roster. I think it's a better roster. I think it's a deeper, better roster than what they had a year ago.
No, I think so, too. I think it's the best roster of the Doug Peterson era. I think you have a good mix of veteran talent and, homegrown talent that has developed, guys like Travis Etienne, Tyson Campbell, Trevor Lawrence, Trayvon Walker, guys who have just gotten better, over the years. And then, some of the young guys, guys like Brian Thomas Jr., guys from last year's draft class like Anton Harrison, Antonio Johnson, Parker Washington, up and down the list. They have a good blend of youth and a good blend of veteran experience.
John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, here with us on 1010XL in Jacksonville. John, it's the first game for Trevor Lawrence, Joshua Hines-Allen, and Tyson Campbell since the Jaguars invested in a big way in all three of those young men. Any more pressure on any of those guys? I guess Trevor in particular now with that contract?
I think there's always pressure, and I think you can absolutely say, yeah, I mean, there's pressure on Josh Hines-Allen to show that it wasn't just, a contract year type of performance. I think there's pressure on Trevor Lawrence, not just with how he's getting paid, but with how it last year ended, how this feels like a team that needs to take that next step. There's absolutely pressure on him to kind of get them there. So I do think there's pressure, and I truly believe, yes, a lot of the off-field investments, the big, franchise record extensions. I mean, Hines-Allen and Lawrence are the two biggest contracts in franchise history. Tyson Campbell is the highest paid DB in franchise history. Add those investments up with the Miller Electric Center and the stadium in the future, and I think that's a big reason why Shad Khan wants to win now. He's invested, and he wants to see the results.
You and I spoke a couple of weeks back. Since that moment, Brian Thomas Jr. has done some nice things. We've finally seen Darnell Savage on the defense a little bit there in Atlanta to end the preseason. We still haven't seen Eric Armstead. We will see that on Sunday, but a lot of questions got answered, I guess, John, in training camp. A lot of questions have not been answered. That's why, to me, Sunday's so intriguing down there in Miami.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, a lot of the stuff with the Jaguars, it's stuff we've talked about, like you mentioned before, like Darnell Savage does look like he's going to be their slot. They've said that Eric Armstead's going to be essentially their number 3 edge. So we know some things about this team, but, we don't know. I mean, how is the running game really going to look, behind, this offensive line, especially with Mitch Morrison at center? How's Brian Thomas Jr., and Gabe Davis going to really adapt to the scheme? They're mixed in with a couple guys who have been in it for a long time. How Ryan Nielsen's defense is going to look, and of course, who's really going to be pulling the strings on offense. I think that's the biggest question anybody had with the team entering training camp, and that's something we still haven't had answered.
You mentioned the edge pass rush position. Look, DJ Coleman, I'm not going to say he's an all-pro, but I was stunned when they did not put him on the 53, although he is on the practice squad, because that leaves you with Hines-Allen, Walker, 7th-rounder Miles Cole. You mentioned Eric Armstead, potentially Mason Smith, potentially Roy Robertson-Harris, but the Jaguars are playing with fire there, right? I mean, heaven forbid if something happens to 41 or 44, they're going to have problems affecting the opposing quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Yeah, the same would have been true last year, but they made it through the season healthy. So, yeah, it definitely seems like health is a big thing they're leaning on. And the fact that they made it through last year healthy and each produced probably does give them, whether right or wrong, some internal confidence that a plan like this can develop. And they do have guys, like you said, they can always bring up Coleman off the practice squad. You see Abdullah can rush off the edge some. They do have a little bit of depth, but it's certainly not, I say to this day still, the best edge depth I've seen this team have in my time covering them was 2022, because you had two really quality backups in DeJuan Smoot and Arden Key, and they haven't had that since.
You're going to know a lot about the Jaguars secondary. We all are on Sunday. I mean, right out of the gate, Tua, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, those two running backs, Achane and Mostert. I mean, we know how fast Miami is. We know about that Mike McDaniel offense. What are your expectations for Ryan Nielsen and that defense on Sunday?
Yeah, no, I definitely think they're going to be a defense that plays tough up front. I think, they're going to do their best to use, their physicality and maybe, even athleticism advantage in the trenches to try to limit, some of the things that the Dolphins like to do. I think you're going to see right away, how they stack up against, some of the top passing attacks, because, while nobody considers Tua, a top 5 quarterback or anything like that, he has one of the best receiver duos, if not the best receiver duo in the NFL. And the Jaguars start their season off against like the matchup problem of the NFL in Tyreek Hill. So it's a heck of a game to have for your first game for a new defense, new defensive staff, etc. But it'll definitely be a good measuring stick.
A couple of more for John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. We'll tell you all about the website and the podcast coming up in just one moment. When you look at the Jaguars offense versus the Dolphins defense, Miami's very similar to Jacksonville in that a brand new defensive coordinator, a lot of unknown on the Dolphins defense. One of the things we do know, John, there will be no Bradley Chubb. He's on the PUP list. Jalen Phillips is off of the injury list, but will he be on a snap count? He's coming back from an Achilles. So if there is a, quote, easy game, or at least to ease into the season, Miami doesn't have exactly a lot of all-pros that are going to be rushing the quarterback from the outside. You would think the Jaguar offensive line should have some success there.
Yeah, you definitely think so. And, they still have some players they've invested in. Chop Robinson, first-round pick's probably going to get a ton of run in his first career game. But you're absolutely right. The best pass rushers on this Dolphins defense, and, I mean, even adding Christian Wilkins from a year ago, they just, won't be the same factors on Sunday that they otherwise would be. So there definitely is some luck in that sense. Seems like the Dolphins in general, they'll have, it feels like most of their injured players back, but it seems like they've been one of the more banged-up teams of the preseason.
Keys to victory, John. If you want to write about some good stuff Sunday night, if I want to talk about some good stuff Sunday night on the fifth quarter, what do the Jaguars need to do down there in South Florida?
I think protecting the ball is the biggest thing. When you go against a team like the Dolphins that can really score at will because of the speed that they have, you can't afford to waste possessions, and you can't afford to give them possessions. So I think holding on to the ball security is going to be the biggest thing. And then just doing what they can to limit explosive plays on defense. I expect a lot of too high safety looks. They're going to ask, I think, their defensive line to win, just with 4 pass rushers and win up front. So I think those are the big things to look for.
As we begin to wrap up, you and I talked off air down at camp. You look at these first 4 games, 4 playoff teams, 3 games on the road. It's about survival, right? I mean, I would take 2-2 in a heartbeat when you consider Miami, home Cleveland, Buffalo, and Houston, with Cleveland being the only home game. That is a tough stretch right out of the gate.
Yeah, they might have the toughest first month of anybody in the NFL, and it does get better for them. After the first month, they still face some quality teams, but it just in terms of like the quarterback schedule they play a lot of rookies and a lot of unproven guys throughout the last, 13 games of the season. That first month is absolutely, like you said, I think if you can get 2-2 coming out of there, you're feeling good. Anything better than 2-2, I think you're clicking your heels.
Yeah, because after that, I believe it's Chicago. It's Indianapolis, Chicago, New England, which appeared all 3 to be winnable games. The Colts, I guess, will never win in Jacksonville. We'll get to that game when we get to it, but it's been a decade since they won here. And then you got a couple of maybe up-and-coming teams, New England and Chicago, but the Jaguars will be favorites in both of those. John, as we make the turn for home, before we talk about the podcast, the division, man. I mean, you cover the team every day. Are they second to Houston right now? Is that the way you see it entering the year? Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, Tennessee? That seems to be a popular opinion.
I think Houston and Jacksonville are probably interchangeable at this point. I think, I mean, people act like one team ran away from the other last year. I mean, Houston was one game better, and they definitely benefited from Jacksonville's collapse. But they split games in Jacksonville and in Houston. Each team was able to win on the road. Each team has a franchise quarterback. Each team has weapons on both sides of the ball. I think they're two teams that are really close to each other, and we'll find out this year on the grass who's better. And then, other than that, I think the Colts are a feisty team, probably a tier below the Jags and Texans, I'd say. And then the Titans, I don't expect the Titans to push for a playoff spot, and I do have some questions about Will Levis. But ultimately, I like a lot of what the Titans did this offseason.
I like what they did too, but man, they just signed so many guys. It makes you really wonder if they're developing any of their draft picks. I mean, it almost seems to me they were just spending money for the sake of competing this year and maybe not a long-term vision. They gave out a lot of money. It would concern me if I'm a Titan fan.
No, they absolutely did. They handed out a lot of contracts.
John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. All right, John, you'll have coverage all week long leading in to the game. I know you and Gus do the podcast. Let Jaguar fans know where they can read you and where they can find the podcast.
Yeah, you can find me on X at _John_Shipley. You can find our podcast, Jacksonville and Jaguars Insider Podcast. They're on the website every day. It'll be on all platforms, etc. And, just continue to follow Jaguars on SI. We'll bring you guys around the clock, free coverage as a team every single day.
John Shipley does a terrific job covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure and check out that podcast. John and Gus do a fantastic job. John, really appreciate it. I'll see you down there in the Jaguar locker room this week.
I appreciate it, man.
Playoff teams limit their weaknesses. Offense, defense, and special teams all contribute.
All three phases come into play.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Sometimes special teams can be fun.
On 1010XL.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Chris Doering is chomping at the bit to tell you about today's Gators.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
With Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tuesday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. On 1010XL.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators. People need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity's super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house?
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Hume Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Hume Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. College football underway, and boy, the starts in Gainesville and in Tallahassee have got a lot of head scratching going on among these fan bases. The Gators get absolutely annihilated at home by Miami, while Florida State is 0-2 out of the gate with losses to both Georgia Tech and Boston College. We have a ton to discuss with that. Let me welcome in my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Mr. Beard, how are you, my friend?
Well, I'm doing better than the aforementioned two teams, but overall, I mean, it was what it always is. It was a great 5 days of college football that we love. There were a lot of zeros in for the losing team, and a lot of points for some of these other teams. But the good thing about it is the games really ramp up the next 2 weekends, so that's going to be fun. But boy, all the talk around the water cooler and the gym and church and school and everything else is what's happening to the teams in the state of Florida.
You know, I went to Epcot on Sunday because I just wanted to get away from sports for a day, to be honest with you, after what I watched in the swamp. Right. And when I was down there, I saw more Miami Hurricane shirts than I've ever seen. There were Go Canes chants in the streets of Walt Disney World. And right on, good for them. I mean, they come into the swamp and they annihilate Florida. Brent, I've defended Billy Napier for a while. I've gotten criticized from Gator fans for defending Billy Napier. and I have to eat crow right now. 8 months to prepare, knowing what was on the line, knowing how important that game was for both himself and Mario Cristobal, and that's the performance that Florida had on opening day at home. That was not good.
Well, I mean, when you put the numbers together, 11 and 15 overall for Napier, 1 and 8 against Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, FSU, and Miami. I mean, that's your rivals, and that is not what the fan base wants to see. So, and I'm with you. I'll be honest with you. I like the guy, but the problem is what we saw Saturday is just not working. Now, I will say Miami deserves a lot more credit than they've probably been given. I mean, Cam Ward at quarterback, Xavier Restapro. Now, Reuben Bain got hurt, their best defensive lineman possibly early in the game, and that was difficult for them. But, I mean, they just didn't miss a beat. I mean, the line of scrimmage, Miami really owned that. But altogether, I mean, I'm with you to not be prepared, to not be emotional with fire coming out of your mouth. If you're a Gator after the off season, there are just some questions that are unanswered that may not be answered to the end of the year.
Well, look, I mean, and here's the thing too. I mean, that Miami team isn't exactly Alabama or Georgia. That Miami team was 12 and 13 the last 2 years. Now, what did they do about that? Well, they went out and got a great quarterback in the portal. They went out and got a great running back in the portal. They've done well on the high school recruiting trail. But I think Cristobal and Napier were hired 8 days apart in 2021. They are literally on the same timeline, and coming into this year, they basically had the same record. Billy was 11 and 14. Mario was 12 and 13. And it was varsity versus the junior varsity out there. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't competitive. It was 41-17, Brent. It might as well have been 50-3.
Yeah, really.
It was not a competitive game. And then earlier this week, Billy Napier, look, and I get the frustration, right? I get it. You're asked constantly about the online negativity. But at 11 and 15, you cannot stand behind a podium at the University of Florida and talk about your fan base being in the basement of rural Florida criticizing you. And I mean, that's kind of a shot, if you will, at the fan base. Now, I get it that there was a longer part of that quote that didn't go viral, but good heavens, that joke, I think Billy was trying to cause some levity there, and it did not work.
Yeah, well, and that's indicative of a lot of things that have not worked. I think the reality here is what can they do? Well, they've got Samford, and you would think that they would be inspired enough to have a win over Samford. You've got Texas A&M next week. That might really determine their season. If they could get a restart if they do that, and they beat Mississippi State, then they've got an open week. I mean, the question comes up, well, and you've got fans, I want to see them fired right now. Well, the reality of that is, I mean, if you did that, and they're not going to do that, I mean, who on that staff could be an interim coach for the rest of the year and do a decent job? I mean, I don't know if we've got the answer for that at this point. So DJ Lagway will have his shot. He should. I think he gives them a little bit more energy, elusiveness, and he's going to make some mistakes. But the reality is and I still think Graham Mertz is a good quarterback, but until Graham is really healthy and ready to go, that's what you can do. But the miscommunication, particularly in the secondary, the inexcusable lack of motivation. Those are things that have got to be stopped at some point.
You get Brent Beard on First Coast News. You also hear him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, final Gator topic. They better beat Samford. If they don't beat Samford, we might be having a different conversation. Samford lost to West Georgia, who was playing like their first Division I college football game last week, all right? So this is not Samford of a couple of years ago. No. I'm sure you got this over the weekend. I got it over the weekend. There are 11 games to go in 2024. We're just past Labor Day, for crying out loud.
Right.
And I didn't get an X's and O's breakdown. People weren't asking me about what they can do this year. I was getting Lane Kiffin this and Lane Kiffin that the entire weekend. Well, how can we get Lane Kiffin out of Oxford? What's Billy's buyout? I mean, is that where we are on September, 5th, 6th, that people are just eyeing Lane Kiffin here and the season's just gotten underway?
Well, and look, that's the natural reaction from some fans. The buyout is $25 million, but if they're having a horrible year, I think they will come up with the money somehow. But that's where the buyout is. Let me encourage people to read something. Chris Lowe did an article, and this is really ironic, last week on Lane Kiffin and how Lane Kiffin has grown and matured, and how he wants to stay at least for a while at Ole Miss because of his family. His father dying, Monty Kiffin, had a great impact on his life, and he said throughout the article his daughter has moved to Ole Miss now, and she said, as a matter of fact, and she kind of let the cat out of the bag. She said he was heavily looking at the Auburn job last year, and she came home and talked to him and said, okay, I'm coming to Ole Miss. Are you leaving me again? And if you've got a child, you can really understand what that would mean. Now, look, I'm not saying that Lane Kiffin at the end of the year would not be tempted to come to Florida if that job comes open. But before people jump up and down and can say nothing else more about Lane Kiffin, you need to read that article. And Jed Fish is the other name that you hear, but he's only been at his current job at Washington for 1 year. So, Hank, the reality is all you can do is just wait through this season and see where this thing is going from there. And look, you and I both know the next time there's a firing, there may be multiple firings involving multiple people. So this thing, it really has got to play out.
A couple more for Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, as bad as things are in Gainesville, it's not all that unexpected, right? Maybe the right. sheer loss to Miami, 41-17 was unexpected, but the fact that they lost the game, I think Gator fans knew that was a possibility. Utter shock and disbelief in Tallahassee is the way at least I would describe my group of friends that are Florida State alumni. Were they sold a bill of goods? I mean, we knew they lost a lot of talent. Brent, they have gotten pushed around by Georgia Tech and Boston College. I mean, we heard so much about this O-line and this D-line. People want to criticize DJU, and that's fine, whatever, and we'll get there. But you can't block anybody. You can't run the ball. You can't stop the run. This is basic fundamentals of football, and Florida State has looked awful in the first 2 weeks.
It really goes beyond explanation, frankly. This is a great example the last 2 years, last year and this year for Florida State, of how the portal can help you and then it can hurt you. And this year's how it can hurt you. They have just picked up guys, and what we got to remember in the portal is sometimes you can get a diamond in the rough like Cam Ward, the quarterback at Miami. But there are a lot of guys in the portal who were not starters at their school to begin with, and they're probably not going to be starters wherever they go. So, but to your point, the thing that is that you really feel helpless about is, and I know in this day of throwing the ball, how much people love that. But Ryan, you and I understand this for years. When you can't run and you can't stop the run, you're in trouble. And that really is where they are. Look, Boston College, by no stretch of the imagination, I give Bill O'Brien credit. When O'Brien is focused, he's a pretty good football coach. He's not a great coach, but he's a good coach. And they just basically did whatever they wanted in Tallahassee. So getting anything out of these this offensive and defensive line and looking at personnel. And now they've got a little bit of a break, but I can tell you right now, this Memphis team coming in on the 14th is better than both the teams they've just lost to. And Seth Hannigan, the quarterback, is the best quarterback they faced. And speaking of quarterbacks, in dealing with this, look, at some point, you know what and who DJ Uiagalelei is. I think what they need to do is, whether you replace him or not, they need to start playing Brock Glenn and get ready for the future because their season, if it's not over already, easily could be over by the middle of September, and they've got to start looking at everything and what they can do to salvage it and at least look back. Look, the eye test is what fans go by, and both Florida and Florida State have looked, frankly, abysmal to this point.
It's been really, really bad, no question about it. And it's funny how quickly the narrative changes. Mike Norvell was 13-0 last year.
Oh, yeah.
He got a brand-new contract, a huge contract, because Alabama was apparently courting him to an extent. And now all these stats are coming out about Mike Norvell's record when Jordan Travis is not his quarterback, right? People are asking, was last year and the year before, was that Jordan Travis or was it Mike Norvell? I think that's somewhat unfair. But having said that, Florida State has gotten roughed up by two inferior teams. And when you have Miami and Notre Dame and Clemson and all these teams on your schedule, well, it could be a long year in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing, too. Dabo Swinney somehow won 11 games in a year with DJU.
Yeah.
So that's kind of humbling the way it is now. But look, you're right about that. I mean, they are at the point. The amazing thing for both Florida and Florida State, and we really, in our time of working together, have rarely ever, if at all, ever seen this before. But and I get what fans are doing. They're looking at the schedule and they're saying, well, I mean, how many games here can we realistically win? So, I mean, you don't give up on the season yet. It's still too early. I think we both realize neither one of these teams are likely going to the playoffs at this point. I mean, you don't give up on hope. But I think there's got to be a balance, isn't it, Hack, that there's got to be a point in the season where you're either going to continue to go backward or you're going to go with the kids and go forward. So that, you know, and neither one of them are there yet, but I guarantee you that's being discussed behind closed doors.
One of the craziest stats that I saw, it's the first time Florida and Florida State have lost by 15 or more points together in the same weekend since 1973.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Really.
You're talking 50-plus years since both teams lost by 15 or more points on the same college football weekend. Quickly, Brent, we'll do a lot of previewing throughout the year. Obviously, we had to talk Florida and Florida State fans down a little bit today. But what a week number 2 it should be, headlined by Texas and Michigan, certainly. But there's a lot of good ones from Arkansas to Oklahoma State, Mississippi State, Arizona State, and then the first real conference game, Kentucky, South Carolina. Should be a pretty good weekend of SEC football.
And I can tell you right now, that Kentucky-South Carolina game is incredibly important for South Carolina. I mean, they almost got beat by Old Dominion. Now, look, Old Dominion in their division or where they play is good, but at the same time, when Old Dominion is leading you, and when there's 6 minutes to go in the game, there's a problem. I don't know. Look this up for people who haven't seen it. Shane Beamer was interviewed after the game, and the look on his face after the interview ended was like, what in the world have I gotten myself into? So to your point, there's some important early games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Tennessee, NC State's another one.
Yes.
And how about a little love for Vanderbilt? How about the Fighting Commodores? Brent, that's a huge win for Vandy, right, over Virginia Tech?
That is a program-changing win. People are going to snicker at that a little bit, but I'm serious. It really was. I mean, they missed a field goal in regulation and win the game, came back and won it in overtime. And if people haven't seen this, they've got a quarterback, Diego Pavia, that basically went in the huddle and said, look, I want the ball, put the ball in my hands in order to win the game, and that's basically what he did. Diego was also with Jerry Kill in New Mexico, and they were together there. Now they're both together in Vanderbilt. Listen, Hack, there is no exaggeration that you can put on this win for Vanderbilt and how important it was.
And that is a crushing loss for Virginia Tech. People were talking
really
ACC championship for them. Brent Pry is going to be in a little bit of trouble there in Blacksburg pretty soon if that continues. You get Brent Beard on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, we had so much to talk about, and it was only week one, man. We got like 4 more months of this stuff. It's fantastic. I appreciate you as always, brother. We'll be back to recap week number 2 next week.
Good. Can't wait, man. Take care.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
And thank you to my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. As college football, it's going to be really interesting. Week number 2, not so much locally, right? Florida State is off. They are licking their wounds, getting ready for Memphis next week. Florida and Samford. Now that means DJ Lagway will get the start for the Gators. Miami, FAMU, Georgia, Tennessee Tech. I mean, locally it's not great. Nationally, though, it's phenomenal. We're at Texas, Michigan. I mean, you look in the SEC, Kentucky, South Carolina. You got a couple of big ones. Arkansas, Oklahoma State really stands out. Mississippi State, Arizona State, just to name a few. So should be a good weekend of college football, and we're certainly looking forward to that. It'll be a great weekend of the NFL as well. It began tonight. Week number 1 is underway with Kansas City and Baltimore. Of course, tomorrow night in Brazil. You got Philadelphia and Green Bay, and then a full slate of games on Sunday, including the Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. A reminder, the 5th quarter, Dave Campo, Leon Searcy, and yours truly will be with you 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Dolphins go final right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. And we are certainly looking forward to bringing you another year of the 5th quarter. Hopefully, we are talking about a Jaguar victory. Unfortunately, at least my thoughts on it, I'm going Miami this week. Hope I'm wrong. Hope Jacksonville can go down there and steal one. I just think Miami being at home, opening day, rested Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, they seem to wear down as the season goes on. They seem to be very good at the start of years. And unfortunately, the Jaguars play them in week number 1. So give me Miami, and I will certainly be very pleased if I am wrong about that. We got a lot of people to thank here on a Thursday night edition of Hacker After Dark. That'll just about do it. We certainly appreciate you guys listening to us tonight here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Again, thank you to my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Thank you to John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, for joining us tonight. Cecil Shorts, former Jaguar wide receiver. You'll get him every week right here on Hacker After Dark. Always love talking ball with Cecil. And we also had a little Jaguar locker room talk earlier today. We had defensive lineman Tyler Lacey, defensive back Darnell Savage, among others. And we appreciate those guys taking time out for us in the Jaguar locker room this week. Tomorrow night, Hacker After Dark turns into the Friday Night Lights postgame. We will be with you following Bowles and St. Augustine, also Bishop Kenny and Tocoi Creek. Once those games go final, we will have the Friday Night Lights postgame show for you right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Dylan Denmark was your producer. tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Thursday evening with us right here on Hacker After Dark, on 1010XL, and on 92.5 FM. So for all of us here on HAD, have an absolutely terrific remainder of your Thursday evening, and we will talk to you once again tomorrow night under the Friday night lights. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.
Pick the winners and be a winner. Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park. Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. The 1010 Weekly Pick'em Contest is brought to you by MyBookie at 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor, outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the